Okay. All right, man. Welcome to the pod.
Indeed. So what we're going to talk about today?
Well, I don't know. What do we, it's the sticky situation, isn't it?
It is the sticky situation.
Welcome to the sticky situation. I'm here today with none other than Sticky Nicky.
Thank you for joining me today.
Yeah.
What's on the agenda today?
No, I don't know, man. What do you want to talk about? What you been up to today?
We need to talk about... I don't know what we need to talk about.
What you been feeling sticky about?
Well, I've been feeling sticky about...
Yeah, man. What you been feeling sticky about?
Movies today are too gay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
I just feel like it's too much of a forced agenda just in too much filming these days. I feel like there's just a lot of cultural wokeness clash between the young and older generation because both are just leaning into all of the worst parts of either side of it and are just calling each other out, being like, "No, you're fucking gay, you and your fucking new generation." And the new generation's like, "At least I'm not a misogynistic woman-hitting piece of shit." So, like, you know...
You feel like Sorry, I need to move this because
It's just a lot of cultural bashing on either sides, and there's not exactly a whole lot being done except people just making memes about it and more news, which is doing anything but helping.
So is what you're saying that the new generation is too gay and the old generation is not gay enough? And that's being reflected into Hollywood as we see it today?
The old generation is trying to keep all of its twisted, cruel tricks on keeping people oppressed, while the newer generation is kind of spiraling out of control on what exactly it wants to present itself as and what it wants to be progressive about. Because it's a clusterfuck of...
You broke your vape. Your vape just fell on the ground in pieces like a Lego.
It's fine. It does that. It's a magnet. Look.
Nice.
Yeah, no, you can, like, change out the pods. That's like, the big gimmick about this. It's a pod-based system. Go like that. This charges this. I can hit this without it. I can go...
Damn.
This is what charges this. That's why it says 1% on here.
So is the battery at 1% or is the vape at 1%?
The battery is at 1% charging the vape.
Oh, so it's like a MagSafe vape?
Yeah.
Dang.
But it's like a pod system, so it's a catch-22 for, like, spending more money for it, but, like, it's what's semantics? Regardless, don't do drugs. Actually,
You got like some popcorn in your hair, by the way. I think you got it. Just fell on your fanny pack.
Anyways, what I was saying earlier is that new generation can't figure out what it wants to be. Old generation is bitter and angry that the new generation has their own opinions and aren't taking and are just bluntly calling them out on things that nobody else has done before, because that just wasn't how things were done back then.
Right, they're a little too reserved in their ways.
Yeah.
Like Superman. Did you see the new Superman?
I haven't seen the new Superman. I've heard good things about what it's done. Also, I'm a huge fan of a lot of James Gunn's work. He's brought in a lot of uncontroversial and a lot of unknown superheroes back into the light, even if they're killed. Like, first couple minutes of the movie, you just learned about a new superhero that you didn't know exist. And even if it's the stupidest superhero that you know of now, that you're gonna make fun of now, at least you have that for it.
At least you have it. You can give James his flowers there.
Dude.
And Supadawg.
We got Crypto the Supadawg, who is a apocalyptic threat by himself. This is a dog that can go toe to toe. This is a dog that Apocalypse, you know, one of the new gods of the DC universe, has been bodied by in the past because it was having a bad day.
Supadawg?
Supadawg.
What if instead of Supadawg, it was Super Downs? And it was just a dog with Down syndrome, and that's where he got his superhuman strength.
No.
Not from the Kryptonian.
They actually do have origins on
the strength that he would get from
They actually do have origins on quote Supadawg. If you'd like to
we will refer to Crypto as Supadawg.
If you'd like to hear it.
Yes, please.
Well, it was originally made in a lab by Superman's parents.
Supadawg?
Yeah. Yeah, no, Superman's parents were scientists. That's one thing that everybody forgets about his parents. You know, that and the fact that, you know, they built a fucking rocket for him to be sent out of space in, but, like, you know...
Everybody assumed that Krypton just had that technology.
They just assumed that they had that technology, but, like, Superman's parents were engineers, and they built that rocket ship for him.
So, like, everybody else died. So are you saying that, like, Superman is kind of like the Elon Musk of Krypton?
Yeah.
To which he had the spaceship?
His parents were renowned scientists on the planet that were speaking out against the entire council, being like, hey, our planet's gonna fucking blow up. And the city council's like, I don't really know. It sounds like you're a bunch of fucking quacks.
Kind of sounds like...
And then... aside from Superman's cousin Kara, Supergirl, that also had loving parents that were also scientists that built the rocket for their daughter.
So they're kind of like
the L's of Krypton were scientists, and they made Crypto in a lab to protect little baby Cal from anything, and then a monster literally reached out from space and time to try to kill baby Superman, and Crypto jumped in, and both the monster and Crypto got blasted to the Phantom Zone, which is like where they sent General Zod originally. But like,
it's kind of like a space prison.
It's like it's a negative energy prison dimension. It's essentially a prison. It's essentially a dimension held prison that he sends villains and things that aren't capable of either changing their ways or just not, you know, being an apocalyptic threat. So just doomsday so far. But he went into the Phantom Zone for some reason, and Crypto being like ever present by Superman's side throughout his entire life, being in the Phantom Zone because he can't interact with him, because he can still see him. He finds him in the Phantom Zone, and he brings his dog out, and he makes sure that his dog survives. So he hurls him into the sun to make sure, or getting out of the Phantom Zone because he was freezing to death, that his dog would survive. And his dog survived. And now he has a super dog. And that super dog is...
fighting the Palestinians. You hear about that?
I hope not. I haven't.
There's been a lot of controversy online about Superman and the parallels between the Israel-Palestine conflict.
Well, that is an unfortunate thing for the timeline we're in, but I will say that Superman fights for truth, justice, and freedom. He used to fight for the American. It was also the American way for a little bit, but then he renounced that, saying that he was a citizen of the planet and not just America, because he likes to protect, help everybody, because it's not simply about the fact of he's doing it for a reason. He's doing it because people are in danger and things need to be stopped. There isn't a subjective ulterior motive to it, and that's the biggest thing that mankind has a problem with, is that they're always trying to supersede, just being like, all right, what the fuck is this guy really fucking after? And that's how you get Lex Luthor. Who is by far the smartest person on the planet.
Also the baldest.
Yeah, that too. He did have a solid set of hair at one point, but he also just, to be honest, just pulls off the bald, lanky yet muscular build of a bald guy. He's got the facial structure down. It just works. But if Lex wasn't obsessed with the fact that he hates the fact that Superman is in the world and that humanity is dependent on him, he could have made the world a better place like 100 times over. But he doesn't, because he hates the fact that Superman is a force that the world relies on, when he, in the fact, thinks that humanity should rely on itself and the factor of the human mind and the capability of the race in itself, and not relying on a godlike figure.
It's not very Christ-like.
It's not very Christ-like, and he's just an alpha game hater. The man found out a way to cured cancer, and then didn't share and still hasn't shared the information with anybody in the world, just because he could.
Lex was gatekeeping cancer.
Lex is actively gatekeeping cancer right now. He did it because he didn't know if he could, because he wanted to see if he could, and he did.
It's like if Elon Musk found the cure for AIDS and decided to...
Oh yeah, they actively tested a new variating cure for AIDS on somebody recently.
We're talking outside of Superman now?
Yeah.
In the real life?
Yeah.
Someone they found the cure to AIDS.
They did an experimental testing trial that was like astronomically high for what we've had research in the past for like a cure for like HIV slash AIDS related STD.
What do you think the cure is?
I don't fucking know. It might be like something related to stem cells or something like that.
What if it was like zinc or something?
You know, that's like the same type of reason that like, you know, like people are like always hella nervous where they're like, "Oh yeah, this stuff is cancer. It's like cancer eliminating or like cancer preventative." And then like, you know, they squabble off about that long enough and they get a knock on the door from the government just being like,
Need to have a conversation with you real quick.
we're gonna need you to ask you to stop. Boom! 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 Boom!
Imagine just like a 14-year-old Israeli kid just in his basement in like Pennsylvania, actively solving the creating the cure for cancer, and you just hear a knock on the door. And you open the door and it's the Costco guys, and they're just like, "We're gonna need you to stop." And they're like, "No, you don't understand the severity of," and they just go, "Boom! Ah! Boom! Ah! Boom!" They keep, and they just boom them.
Just do a 5-boom setup combo.
Going against Trump's political agenda is 8 big booms. Wait, no, please. Boom! Boom! Boom!
Yeah. No. No, there's been some wacky shit in the cinematic universe for comic book based movies as well. Jesus fucking Christ. Let's see what fucking flopped. Let's see. We had Miss Marvel, we had the Marvels, we had She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
We had let's see what else. We had the Flash. And we had fuck, there was one more. Oh yeah, that's right. They did Blue Beetle and Swamp Thing temporarily. All flopped.
Just all flopped.
All flopped.
Why do you think that is?
Oh,
Were they too gay?
She-Hulk was
That was. I didn't even.
She-Hulk had breathtaking toxic femininity issues in the entire show.
Breathtaking.
Breathtaking.
Not like the take your breath away in the good sense. The
No, just
take your breath away like.
the toxic femininity in that show and the sheer amount of ignorant stupidity in that show. Okay. I'ma just lay down one scene that's annoyed me so far. You're Jennifer Walters. Your older cousin Bruce, a well-renowned scientist, has been hunted by every single world government for the past three decades before he became an Avenger. Then saving the world afterwards, getting pardoned by the government. Ask him that he doesn't know how to handle his anger management problems, and he doesn't know what it's like to be objectified. This man had a army general inject laced experimental super soldier serum into a soldier just to make sure that they could take him down. And it's the sole reason why the US government ended up with the abomination.
Just to
paraphrase just like 2 or 3 things that have majorly gone wrong in his life. Oh, also the fact that, growing up, being a brilliant child, he was having records being won by his father, who, for distance that he'd send him flying, being an abusive alcoholic. But, after coming to peace with dissociative identity disorder on top of gamma radiation.
Gamma.
On top of having 7 PhDs. 7!
Like 40
Not
years.
honorary. Anybody that says they're honorary PhDs doesn't have 7 PhDs. This guy has 7 PhDs.
Like Shaq, fuck you.
Like this guy is the LeBron James when it comes to fucking collecting PhDs. He's got all 7.
What does LeBron have 7 of?
Oh, I meant not LeBron. Fucking
Jordan?
No,
He has 6.
Tom Brady. His Super Bowl rings.
I didn't expect you to know how many Super Bowl rings Tom Brady had.
Yeah, I watched the roast of Tom Brady.
Not from like his games.
I also watched football. I know who Tom Brady is. I didn't watch all of his games, but I knew of his existence growing up.
Yeah.
I also watched him when he was
Did you
playing.
see when he kissed his son on the lips?
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
I thought that was a little forwardly aggressive, but that was every father and son has a different type of relationship growing up, and you only have children young for a small certain window amount of time. So
Does that mean it's okay to kiss him on the lips though?
Every culture's different.
This culture does not
American culture
usually permit you to kiss your son on the lips. You think he Frenches his son?
I don't think he does.
You think he goes a little deep?
I don't think
a little extra in there.
I don't think that's the type of things that go through his head. But anyways, we're getting off track.
By the way, hate to interrupt you, but if at any time I have some cue cards here, if you ever want to take a cue card, just go ahead.
No, I got plenty more to go on She-Hulk.
Okay.
The base pacing for the show was horrible. They had a lot of quote unquote third wall breaks for the fact that She-Hulk, Deadpool, and Doctor Doom are 3 canonical characters that have broken the third wall. The fourth wall. Third and fourth wall.
Four it would be the fifth wall?
Yes. Doctor Doom has gotten so upset during a comic that he has gone out of the comic to threaten the illustrator editors for making him look bad in a comic.
That's funny.
There have also been times in comics where there's just been a random picture of Doom on the page, and then it's just like, this isn't a Fantastic Four comic, we just wanted to draw a picture of Doctor Doom.
And he's like, yeah, yes, it's
And he's
me!
just like,
wait, come back! And it's just like one square of just him like, no!
It's just him and his mask just going, Read. Victor, we have a problem. There's only one beer left.
Victor, there's a problem. Remember those needles we were sharing in the bathroom? Yes. Well, it turns out I have super AIDS.
If there is one person on the planet to be afraid of, it's Dr. Doom.
Yeah?
Yeah. He's a can of worms. In and of itself. Thank you all. Thank you to all our patron supporters. John Argue, Patrick Andrews, Danny Barber, Khalil Weaver Wheeler, Shelley Brooks, Joseph Coney, Shai Gilligis Alexander. Thank you.
Thank you for supporting the show. To all of our Patreon supporters. We'll have more information on how to support us in further episodes, but those are just some of our preliminary.
Back to the sticky situation.
Okay.
Did you know that Dr. Doom's armor is Dracula proof?
I didn't know that. Does that tie in with the AIDS thing that I was saying about, blood?
Yeah. Yeah, no, his armor has splinter fragments of the one true cross on it. So his neighbor in Latveria, Dracula, doesn't try to kill him in his sleep because his armor is literally coated with the blood of Christ on it.
Jesus.
Indeed. The one and only. The ultimate counter against Dracula. He is the most egocentrically megalomaniac level threats, but he's not a villain. He's a politician. There is a difference.
Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom.
Just like Trump.
Just like a lot of politicians.
He's not a villain, he's just a politician, guys. He's not really trying to hurt anybody.
That's the thing that Stan Lee wanted when he made Dr. Doom is, all right, I want a villain that they can't put in jail. It's like, oh, it's like make him a ruler of his own kingdom. It's like, okay, what's it called? Latveria. Okay. Why does he know the Fantastic Four? Oh, he was going to college with some of them.
And they shoved him in a locker and called him a fag. And then he, from there on, vowed to destroy the Fantastic Four.
And then he went into outer space with them, and then got exposed to a cosmic radiation storm.
He said, that damn Reed showing me a locker, calling me a fruitcake. I'm gonna kill him.
His mother also was a practitioner of black magic and sold to Mephisto.
Who's that?
Same guy that made the deal with Johnny Blaze to give him his powers to be a Ghost Rider.
So like a
one of the Hell Lords.
It's like a god, sort of.
He's a Hell Lord. There's 8 layers. There's 8 layers of Hell and Marvel, and each one of them has a Hell Lord.
Gotcha.
Lucifer is one of them. So is Hela.
Allah?
Hela.
Oh, I thought you said Allah.
No, not Allah. Hella.
I thought you said,
Hella.
I thought you meant like Muhammad
No.
was a ghost rider.
No, I do not.
Can you imagine if Muhammad was a ghost rider?
I do not know of any Middle Eastern ghost riders. I do know of a caveman ghost rider, though.
What did he ride on?
A mammoth.
Was this before the wheel then?
Yeah. This is a caveman.
Okay.
They don't have wheels. This ain't the fucking Flintstones.
The caveman.
He ain't going, yeah, ba-da-ba-doo! Fucking going into the Flintstones mobile. No, he had
playing in the background.
He had an albino mammoth that was engulfed in hellfire.
Nice.
There's also canonically accurate 1930s cowboy Ghost Rider as well.
That makes sense. Got the flaming horse. Go back to the caveman thing, though. Do you think you could beat up Fred Flintstone? Like with your bare hands, if you were just like fist fighting Fred.
Yeah, no, because Fred, in the entirety of all Flintstones, has shown that he does not know how to fight and has not fought ever in that entire show. So, I believe that with my small frame and slender build, I could just overwhelm him and just get him on the ground and just start wailing on him and just keep applying pressure until he eventually stops.
He's just like, oh jeez. What does Fred sound like?
Oh, Gordon!
He's just kind of like a less retarded Shaggy or something. I don't know. Isn't Barney from Flintstones? Isn't Barney just like a cuck?
Yeah,
And like
kinda.
Fred is just like fucking Barney's wife.
I think he's fucking both of their wives.
You think Fred is fucking Barney?
I don't want to go that far.
I don't know. You've been on a lot of Reddit. I think it's time for another question off the desk there, buddy.
Excuse me. Sure.
You're excused.
All right. This question is, what if Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself but was murdered by the Joker?
What if it's been in the news lately, you know? They're saying that he...
If the Joker... I just want you to let you know the severity of having the Joker exist.
Okay. What's the severity of it? Because, I mean, Jeffrey Epstein...
He's gonna make the Iraqi and Afghani war look like a sprinkler show with the amount of mayhem and murder he would cause.
Really? Do you think, like, more than Obama?
Yeah. Yeah. He's insane.
He's just like a clown, though, you know?
He's insane. Not only that, he's hyper sane. So he's not tried for any of his crimes. He keeps.
They just keep
breaking.
locking him up like a dog. Did they ever give the Joker like the electric chair?
Can't do that to a mental patient.
I mean,
It's the law.
that, like that's the Arkham law.
That's the law of New Jersey in the DC universe.
New Jersey.
Yeah, it's where Gotham is based in.
Wait, it's not New York. It's New Jersey.
Yeah, Batman's from New Jersey.
You saying Batman's a Guido?
I'm saying Batman is English and slightly Russian on his mother's side, and his parents were mobsters.
Imagine
And
if
that's how the Wayne fortune was built.
I said, so Batman is the descendant of a mobster.
Batman's parents were mobsters.
Imagine if Batman was in like The Sopranos.
That's like one of the biggest points. That's like one of the biggest points in the Batman comics is like that being like overturned and found out by the public and by Batman himself being like, you know, like your parents were murdered, but like your parents also did a lot of shady shit, you know, getting to like the billionaire that he is.
I like this idea of like a Batman in The Sopranos, though. Like Tony Soprano is like in his like clubhouse with all the boys, and then kick down the door, and Batman is just like, "Hey Tone, I had some ideas that I just wanted to bounce off you." And Tony's like, "Yeah, what do you think of Batman?" And Batman's like, "What if instead of selling cassette tapes door to door, we just started fighting crime our own way, Tone?"
I got a good headcanon that it's just in the JLA tower in space, and it's just a really long week after dealing with like 2 or 3 different Robins and Alfred, and the members are just like haggling on him, and he just snaps, goes full Jersey, letting a little the Russian come out, and just starts like unloading on Flash, who's just like the only unlucky guy to just be there. And he's just like,
I don't know, Batman. I think if we just kind of talked about this.
you fucking piece of shit, I'll fucking kill you.
Come on, Batman, come on, man. We're just talking about a couple cassette tapes here.
Batman's just like,
I'm gonna kick you 8 different ways, and then I'm gonna paralyze you from the neck down with a karate chop.
I'm gonna take this fucking batarang here. I'm gonna take
this batarang here. I'm gonna throw it at this ball. It's gonna bounce off, and it's gonna ricochet and hit you in the back of the fucking head, you brick.
You fuck.
it's like just Tony Soprano, but just like,
All right, I got a question for you.
you have a question for me?
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Who was your favorite Robin?
My favorite Robin is the little gay boy that Batman backhands, that one meme where Robin's just like, "Come on, Batman!" Batman's just like, "Shut the fuck up!"
Shut the fuck up!
That's my favorite. That's probably my favorite Robin, because he's just like a little femboy Robin. That's my answer.
So Dick Grayson first starting off as Batman's partner.
Femboy Robin.
So Robin starting out in tights.
Yeah,
All right.
probably had an OnlyFans too.
I think the times are a bit too old for that to have been a thing. Definitely some eyebrows raised and some concerned stares.
Batman is just walking down the street, just like responding to a crime, and Robin's just kind of like tiptoeing behind him, like
Robin's just like doing a backflip off a wall, just like landing a kick on some other goon, just being like, "Oh God!"
He's just all
being like-
flamboyant about it, just like,
Being like, being like, "Man, from the circus, I'm gonna fucking backflip."
he just like totally like does not understand his own strength.
Yeah,
He's just
no,
like,
that
whippy, and he's just like cracks a goon's neck, just.
yeah, no, that
I
was.
mean, it's just like, Robin, you need to relax, and Dick
That's
is just
actually
like,
something.
but watch this, what? Oh my God, and it's just like, boom.
Nah, funny enough, you bring that up. That's actually
My leg!
my leg.
Dick, little Robin's just like, and it's like, just breaking, shattering bones, and they're just like, Robin, please.
Funny enough, you.
Batman's just
say
like,
that.
Robin, you need to relax.
That's actually a problem with two of the Robins. That was Dick Grayson when he first started out, because he was just taking out all of his anger out on anybody that was around him after Bruce trained him. And Jason Todd, the Robin that was beaten to death in the warehouse by the Joker with a crowbar. And then that warehouse blew up. So he died really hard.
Robin?
Yeah.
He was just beating the fuck out of someone with a crowbar.
No, he got
Buildings.
beaten to death by a crowbar by the Joker.
Oh,
And then
yeah,
had a warehouse that he was left in, beaten, bloody, and broken, blow up all around him inside the building.
Batman's just like,
There was a 1-800 number you could call back in the day to see. Does Jason Todd live? Or does Jason Todd die? And enough people called in for him to be fucking killed off. So they killed off Jason Todd.
oh, they took it, the writers took it to a vote.
Yeah.
Where you could call in, and they
Yeah.
were like, kill that
The
little...
1-800 DC number back in the day. And, yep, enough
Kill
people...
that little gay boy, Robin.
No, this was... No, this was... Kill the fucking street hoodlum Robin. He's too fucking
Oh, I know,
relatable.
it's Street Rat Robin. So we went from Femboy Robin
We went from murdered
Street Rat
we
Robin.
went from murdered parents to barely having any parents to murdered parents again with the third Robin. And the fourth Robin is his biological son. Because Batman got roofied.
It's time for another question.
I think I'm gonna start vaping. Let me know down in the comments if you agree. Where's my vape?
Should Nick start vaping? 1 for yes, 2 for no in the chat. You just grab the next question.
What are my thoughts on the Federal Reserve? Remind me, what is the Federal Reserve again?
It's the United States Reserve of federal currency, I believe. I'm not.
Oh,
entirely
is that the gold to cash ratio that they set up? Like
God,
back in the day?
I don't know, man. I think that the back in the day.
Yeah, when they first set up the Federal Reserve for the amount of gold that they had in the bank versus what the American dollar was worth.
Yeah, that
and
could.
then they fucked it all up after the Second World War by instead of for pushing for industrialization, they opted for having that be opted for the rest of the world to be doing that, then pushing the American dollar to be worthless for the amount of the Federal Reserve was worth, then having the government having to print out more money for the government to spend more money to counter out the inflation, the inflation for the economy, for the work not getting better, but more people showing up, and the rest of the world is working. So Federal Reserve fucking need to do a fucking better job.
I have no idea what you just fucking said, but what I think is that we should just eliminate the dollar, and each family or each citizen, when you're born into this country, right as you're a baby in the hospital, a a Fed worker comes into the infirmary and gives you one gold bar. You're just like a little baby, and they just throw a gold bar next to you, and that's just what you get. That's just what you get. That way, there's no wealth disparity. Everybody gets one gold bar, and you can sell some of your gold bar, or you can buy other people's gold bars with other goods and resources, but everybody's just given. When I run for president in 2032, I'm running on the campaign of one gold bar per citizen.
So you want to go back to a bartering system?
Yes. Like I've been playing Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Those Khajiits, those cats, those are some dirty dogs. They really are really like just not really.
They have wares if you have coin.
They're not willing to give a lot of coin. Let me tell you, I'm slaughtering so many people, and it's like the average human life is maybe worth like 6 gold coins to these dirty cats. So I think one
They're cats.
gold
What do you
bar.
expect? I don't think I can agree with that.
Okay, another question.
If you were a rat, what kind of restaurant would you try to sneak into?
That's a great question, Nick. I'm glad you asked that. If I was a rat, I think the type of restaurant I would sneak into would be one in which I could most effectively terrorize the patrons in my rat-esque demeanor, but still have the safety and security that I wouldn't get killed or thrown into a soup and boiled alive. So I'm gonna go with like a fogo de chao, like a Brazilian steakhouse type vibe. I feel like the employees would think I'm just kind of chill. They're just like, oh hey, there goes Luke the rat, and I'm just like, and I go back into my wheel of cheese that I've bored into a home, and they let me have it because back in their homeland, all they had was just a wheel of cheese to live in themselves. What about you?
Well, 87% of men between the ages of 25 to 50 answered the Olive Garden. I'd do the most fancy pizzeria I could.
Go pizzeria?
Yeah. No. Final question.
What?
Whose dream? A segment where the listeners at home have to guess which guest had the following dream. I was on stage at a comedy club talking about fucking a club sandwich from Subway. I got a huge pop from the crowd. I followed it up by pretending to call Jared from Subway. He answered, I woke up.
Okay. Let us know down in the comments, who do you think had that dream? Nick or me? just to read it over one more time. Can I see it? I'm sorry, I'm not too familiar with the dream that's being mentioned here. Where is it? So whose dream was it? I was on stage at a comedy club talking about fucking a club sandwich from Subway. Okay, so club sandwich. What's on it? You worked at Subway for a couple months there. Not insinuating whose dream it was, but you did work at a Subway. What goes in the club sandwich?
I don't fucking know, man. There's a fucking 100 different club sandwiches. Almost every type of hot or cold sub there was a club type of sandwich.
That sounds like someone that's pretending that this isn't their dream would say. But okay, so this was a joke about fucking a club sandwich. It's kind of like that one video on the hub. You know, the hub of that guy that fucks the McChicken. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I heard you talk about that.
So, and then I followed it up by pretending to call Jared from Subway. He answered. So, in the dream, did you have Jared from Subway's phone number already? Or did you just type a random number in the phone, like pretending to like call someone, and then from the phone, Jared from Subway appeared? He's probably getting fucked like a club sandwich in there these days, huh?
Oh, I bet you
He's probably getting split like a meatball sub.
I was about to say, he's a Turk. He's a stuffed turkey sandwich down there.
Extra mayo.
Extra light mayo. I don't know why there's so many superhero movies that flopped. I don't know why there's so many shows that flopped. It's upsetting, Luke. They took the only cool thing they could have done with ending that show, and they fucked that up as well.
They did?
They did, and yeah.
How long have we been going for?
I'm beyond pissed about that. Hulk has a son. Like, technically has two sons, but you usually only.
Can I hear your geek bar, bro?
After I'm done with this. His name is Scar. In the comics, he is one of the coolest motherfuckers you ever see. In the MCU, they gave him a Gen Z fucking faggot haircut. I'm losing brain cells trying to make sense of it.
Should we maybe just cut it?